Isn't that what you had?
I'm tired of popular opinion. I'm the head nigger in charge. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
When you look at the credits,
Yeah.
the girlies are there.
Good Times just always, it just felt too sad every time. I was like, they keep calling it Good Times, but like every episode is like, Lord, where's the money?
And that's friends in real life.
So, what do you say?
I said, and hello.
Well, what's up? It's funny. We ended the season a few months ago, but yet, in typical, I guess us, we have more to talk about. So,
Yes, because things keep happening.
I know. Once upon a time, there was like a season for shows and TV and whatnot, and I feel like at a certain point it would just kind of die off and be reruns or like big movies that I wouldn't necessarily care about, like Avengers 12 or whatever. And it's like, yeah, you can watch them, but like go into a deep dive. But
It's so true. It's like the fashion calendar. There's no such thing as seasons anymore. It's just all year round madness.
Yeah. For summer, winter swimsuit. It's all, what does it mean? Just wear what you want. Yeah.
Just do whatever you want. And apparently the folks in movie and TV are on the same type time because they're not giving us any breaks.
Not a single one. Not a single one.
Not a one. And because of that,
yes,
we've had to dip back in for these bonus episodes because a whole summer cannot go by without us talking about some of the things.
For sure. Our episodes are really long. It would be like a 5-hour episode for us to start back up in like 4 parts because we'd have to talk about what we watched in the last, just what we watched would be 2.5 hours. So
correct.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we can start with you, I guess, because when we were talking, we were catching up and you were saying, I've actually been watching a bunch of TV and I was like, I haven't been as much. Well, nothing worth noting, I think, on this podcast. But I have been watching like film and stuff like that, and just kind of staying up to date. So I'll kick it over to you first. What have you been watching? What's caught your eye, your attention? What's broken through the noise? Made you put your phone down?
Right, because that's also a thing.
Right.
And I need to force myself to, have these moments where I am just powered down.
Yeah.
As I like to call it, which means I'm not paying attention to my phone. I'm not paying attention to my emails. If work is not doing anything crazy, then I'm not going to be caring too much about, what's happening there. And so it gives me a chance to kind of like catch up on things. Because you already know, for somebody who has a podcast about movies and TV, I can go a whole week without turning my TV on. So when I finally do turn it on, and I'm trying to be an adult again and actually read books instead of listening to them.
What's that like?
I know, it's this thing we used to do back in ye olden times, but I need to get back to it because I love a good audiobook moment. Don't get me wrong. It allows me to do things and, catch a good story at the same time. But I'm realizing that is starting to rewire my brain in a way that I don't really care for.
Yeah.
Where my attention span is just too all over the place. Where I feel like I have to be doing something else while I'm,
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, and I don't like it because one thing about it, I've never been the girl who needed to do too much. So for me,
we had a bell or like a message button, that would be
Yeah, we need a chime at this moment because I'm not that girl. So when I notice myself not being able to like sit and read a book because I feel like I need to also be vacuuming and loading the dishwasher or doing whatever. Like it's just no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So or on my phone or whatever. So I was like, I'm going to actually get books with pages that I can turn. And as somebody who is trying to actually publish a book, I feel like, you know what I mean? I need to get back into the good old-fashioned ways of consuming a story. And for me, the love of books is just always, you know, gonna trump listening to them. But listening to them has become this convenience that I find myself being a little too dependent on nowadays, and I want to shake that up a little bit. So between, you know, working and, you know, trying to read and work on my own projects, I carve out these little moments in time where I can just binge something, have a little palate cleanser, recharge my brain, and then I get back to whatever it is that I'm into. So luckily, I've had a couple of weeks of time to just let me just sit down and watch something and go uninterrupted with it. And I came across Dope Thief on Apple TV.
Yep.
And I knew that this was a thing because Brian Tyree Henry is like, in my head, we're cousins. And
is that why you wanted to play me in the movie version of us?
He's also you in the movie version of us.
Okay.
And then he goes and turns around and does a whole show based in Philly, which we love.
Yeah.
So I knew that when he was promoting that show, it was something that I was going to have to eventually dive into. So I took a moment, randomly turned it on one day, and then I couldn't stop. A roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's nonstop crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, it's nonstop crazy. They definitely shot it in like Philly.
Okay. Not soundstage Philly. Like
yeah, like not just pretty Philly, not just gentrified Philly, but like Philly.
Right.
So it's dramatic. It's one of those like, oh my God, what the hell is gonna go wrong next? You know, the episodes just leave you on some like, okay, now I have to watch the next episode because this just ended crazy.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, high energy, antics, shenanigans, stupid decisions, just a story that's just unwinding into more and more crazy. And it's definitely set up for a season 2. So
okay, that's good.
Yeah, this is not the end unless, you know, execs in TV world decide to do something crazy and just cancel it, because we all know that happens. Sure. But the way that the story left off at the end of the series for this season, there's room for another season for sure. So we want to see what happens when that comes back. And I definitely encourage all of you folks listening and you, Mr. Lawrence, to add that to your list.
Okay. I have such a love-hate relationship with Apple TV because I know that there's good programming on it, but I feel like there's these lulls. Like I will say like there's shows that are being promoted, which is very rare, but Apple TV does not promote any of the shows they have. It's like you just kind of find it.
Yeah, they don't do any of that. You stumble upon their stuff and then you're like, oh my God, this is great. Why have I never heard of it before?
Right. Exactly. Like they'll promote like a year. It's like, okay, morning show and Severance. Right. And even Severance is new as far as promotion. It was like morning show. And then I think something else I didn't watch.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, you're watching this. And it goes into another show. And it's like, oh, OK, this seems cool. Let me watch it. So.
Well, that's exactly what happened, because after Dope Thief ended, they started this show called Servant, which I never heard of before. Also shot in Philly, which is why I'm sure it played right after Dope Thief.
Sure.
And the show came on in like 2019 or something crazy like that.
I'm saying. This is what
M. Night Shyamalan.
Okay.
I think he like produced. I think he may have also like directed a few of the episodes, but I know he definitely is the producer behind it. Okay. And it's beautifully shot. And now he is showing pretty Philly.
Okay.
He's actually showing Philly.
Like Society, was it Society Hill? No.
Well, I think technically they're supposed to be living in Society Hill, but it's
Okay.
definitely up the street from where I lived on Spruce.
Right.
Remember my Spruce Street apartment in Philly?
Do. Sure do. Yeah.
You came with me
To look at that
to
apartment.
look at that apartment. It was my first
Yeah.
apartment.
Jeez.
Crazy, right? Yeah, they're on that side of Philly.
Yeah.
So it's so pretty. It's shot in like fall, so like all the leaves. You know, I love a good Philly autumn.
Yeah, for sure.
So that whole old Philly look with old money on that good tree-lined street, crispy fall leaves. It's giving all of that visually. And then it's the craziest story you ever heard
That also.
in your life. So I was all the way in. So I did not want to give Dope Thief away too much because it's a show that is still currently on. People may not have, stumbled upon it yet. So I don't want to give too much away on that. But Servant, I'm about to give you all the tea on Servant.
Oh, okay. So all right.
So it's not okay. So I'm not going to give you enough to where you're going to be like, okay, she gave the whole thing. But let me just say, it is about a woman
Okay.
who loses her newborn baby
Mm.
and is so psychologically shattered by it that she cannot accept that this baby is dead. So they replace the dead baby with one of those dolls that looks like a real baby.
Excuse me?
And she goes on about her life with this doll as if this is really her baby. Like her mental break is so crazy that her reality, she's completely detached herself from reality because the death of her baby like put her into this state of shock, basically.
Yeah.
And so the people around her are like, she's not ready to process it. She needs more time. Let's give her this doll and move on with our lives. And this is essentially what she does. She goes back to work. None of her coworkers, friends, nobody outside of her immediate family knows that this baby actually is, gone, no longer with us.
Absolutely not.
And then she goes so deep into the detachment of it all that she decides she needs help with this baby now that she's going back to work. Yeah.
All right.
She starts putting out ads for a nanny. And this girl who shows up on her doorstep to be the new nanny
Yes.
looks at this doll and is completely on board and taking care of it.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's easy money. Like, it's not like you have to.
Hello. Like the sweetest gig ever. Where do I?
Although I mean, oh my gosh, when I was in high school, I had a class like this, like a World of Children class. And let me tell you something. They give you a baby, right? They don't tell you what kind of baby it is. So it could be like a really easy baby. It could be like a baby that's had like a crack baby, basically.
Okay. Wait a minute.
This is what they said. So like you don't know what kind of, so like, and like you put this key in the back for
a crack baby doll is unhinged.
Right. So
did anybody think that through?
I don't know. I don't know how you would get it to that mode. But anyway, you don't know what baby you're getting.
That would tell that somebody's mom was the crack.
Listen, I don't know why that was a thing. It was also like not peak crack era, so I'm not sure why that was part of it. But at any rate,
of all the things that baby could be born with, just off of the strum,
they said crack baby, and so like you have to put this key in the back.
Yes,
had the doll. My baby was a boy. Maxwell Giovanni was his name, and yo, I did not. I got a count of neglect because like I slept. The baby crying and I didn't and they're like, yeah, you neglect, like if you hit the baby, like it would register on the doll. So like,
oh my God,
very, very high tech for the 70s when I was in high school. But at any rate,
okay, sir, please.
But all that to say, like, word, like, so her being this nanny for this doll baby, I guess makes sense. Okay, wow, okay.
It definitely gave real baby from a distance.
Okay.
But you walk up on it and you see that it's like this doll, especially because in one of the opening scenes, the husband goes to like quote unquote check on the baby and he just picks it up by the feet and the head hits the side of the crib and you gasp. And then when the camera actually like closes in on the baby, you see it is a doll. And I'm like, oh my gosh, now I can't not watch what is happening right now. So it's nuts. The girl who shows up as the nanny ends up being the reason why the show is called Servant. Is completely locked in, loyal as hell to the family, doesn't want to leave. The mom is like typical upper middle class / wealthy Karen who is just like in her own little rich woman world.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my God, we love her, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, it's M. Night Shyamalan, so you know shit is about to get dark.
Right.
Darker, because like we're already starting off with a fake baby who everybody pretending is real. But Nanny Girl, yeah, she does things. She has some kind of weird powers that somehow make this a real baby. So I could leave it at that. I could go a little deeper. I can leave it at that.
I just want to be clear. I just want to be clear that when we were talking about in our last bonus episode, we talked about passions and about
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
And I feel like this is a very similar.
Absolutely not. No, sir.
Timmy was a doll that I believe this like Tabitha made come to life. No, I'm dead serious.
I know. And you're not about to put this on the same level.
So I'm trying to understand why this is different. Why? Because it was shot in Philly? Fine. But like
well, first of all, yes. And also because it didn't look like the budget was $1,500 in the form of a stimulus check. So
fair enough.
Comparing the two.
It's the storyline feels very similar. And then low key, if we're being honest, that came out first. So this feels like this is biting off a storyline. I just want to be clear. Let me clear that. Okay, but keep on. I'm intrigued.
Hey, no, this is like this is so well done. Like this is so it's good. Like it's a wild ride, but it's good. Equally is crazy sounding as Passions when you just give the description.
Yeah.
But once you actually lock it, you'll see we're doing a little bit better than whatever was going on that soap opera. I can't even believe you watched that. You should be ashamed. So that's Servant. I think you should check it out. Get a moment.
Yep.
But those were my two Philly shows that Apple threw at me. So I got through those. And then I took a little break. I feel like I had, work to do and stuff like that. And I make my way over to Tubi once I can.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Once I can find a moment again, I go and make my way over to Tubi. But let me tell you, our girl Tubi gave us a cute show called Borders. And I'm so glad that I forced you to watch it so that you could see that I was not just hyping it up. It's so cute. I love it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's so funny because I don't know if this is right, but I do. How can I want to say this correctly? I have enjoyed shows that center around high school, even though it's been a long time since I've been in high school.
Right.
And so I feel like Borders, there was Sex Education on Netflix. There was a few of shows like that.
Even going all the way back to 13 Reasons Why.
I never watched, but yes.
You never. Okay.
No, I watched it. The title annoyed me.
That show was good. And then there was Ginny and Georgia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There's been a few.
I'm here for the genre.
Same. And like even Gossip Girl, fun. So
right. We can do a little bit of high school antics. Well, first of all, the antics are never giving high school. It's always very adult antics happening in a high school setting. So we're not total weirdos. But Borders is giving us BBC realness. We're getting the British vibes.
Also, clarify, you mean the network, not something else.
Yeah. Sir, this is not that kind of podcast. I'm going to need you. So, please.
I didn't want to be clear. People, I was like, whoa. Okay, sorry, go ahead. Yes.
We're talking about the British Broadcasting Corporation or company or whatever the C stands for. But yes, Borders is a British series
Yes.
based on a bunch of Black British kids who get chosen to go to this really prestigious, all white, private boarding school. And they're there on scholarship because the school has like a diversity issue or something happened.
Mhm.
And so they wanted to get these, Black kids in the school to try to make themselves look better. And these kids come in with antics and shenanigans, of course.
Mhm.
And I just was all in. I was like, first of all, we're 2 seasons on this show and I'm
Right.
just hearing about it. So there's that.
Mhm.
But I came across it a little bit ago and just never, really clocked in. But then Tubi was forcing the trailer for it down my throat every time I would click on the app.
Yeah.
And I was finally just like, you know what?
All right.
I
Uncle.
give
Yeah.
it. Let me just click on this because they've given me enough trailer to damn near have seen the whole series in the trailer. So now
Yeah.
I'm completely invested just on that. And so
Right.
I finally turned it on and I was like, oh, yes, this is cute. And
Mhm.
I'm here for it. And now I'm pressed for season 3 because I've gotten through all of it.
Right.
So yeah, I know that sometimes when you like try to describe a show about, oh, these kids in high school, blah, 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 to people at our big ass age, and
Yeah.
it's like, but no, this is funny. It's very well cast and
Mhm.
super smart and very raunchy.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
raunchy for a high school themed show.
Agreed. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah,
But
I
also
just
just
need
funny.
everybody in that show to be an adult in real life. I'll just say that.
I believe so. I believe they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the main dude was in Supercell, which I'm not sure if you watched that.
Yes,
But
yes, I love Supercell.
yeah. So yeah, I thought it was good. I enjoyed Borders as well. I wasn't sure I would, but it's one of those shows like you start an episode, next you know, like, okay, I'm through season 1. All right, well, let me see what
Yes.
season 2
Well,
is
that's
talking
what happened
about.
with me in Servant because I got through like 4 seasons of that.
Mm,
And it's because, I mean, in my defense, the episodes are like 30 minutes.
right. Yeah.
So it moves really fast and you don't even realize, you know what I mean? Like you're in and then just when, something crazy happens, whereas another network would tack on another hour, or another, 30 minutes after that, they
Yeah.
stop it and then it goes into the next episode.
Yeah.
So it's like a quick moving situation, both in the action and in the timing. Borders is just like, I feel like the episodes are like an hour, but you don't even feel it.
Right. Yeah.
It's you know what I mean? Like I usually see when an episode of a series is more than like 40, 45 minutes. I'm like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get through this one.
Yeah.
No, Borders keeps you locked in enough to where you're like, okay, I blinked and this is now over. What happened?
Right. How did we get here? Yeah. Yep.
So super cute show. What else did I consume over these past couple of months? Oh, Black Mirror.
Yeah. Shout out to, I mean, well, yeah, I want to talk about Black Mirror, but I'm like nervous because I'm like, that can also be an episode of its own. But yes, okay, Black Mirror, which I watched most of. I didn't see all of it. So I skipped a few, but I've seen them.
You saw the one that everybody is like,
well, which one is that?
Arms about. The one that had everybody pissed off on Blue Ivy's internet with Verity and
oh, is that the one people? Because I feel like more people were more mad at the Issa Rae Aquafina one, but okay,
but for
different reasons, yeah,
different reasons, of course, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you're talking about what was the name of that episode? But yeah, our homegirl Verity. No, that was not your homegirl. You were not. Bet Noir.
Bet Noir. Yep.
Yeah, Bet Noir. Yeah.
Yep. That one definitely ate.
Yeah.
And that was the one that everybody's like, oh my gosh.
That was my favorite one of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But I was the one with Common People was the saddest one, and I really wish they hadn't started with that one, because that one to me was like that was like it finished, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go to bed now. I don't even want to watch it.
Yeah, I get it. I
Um,
kind of wish that one would have been the closer.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Because I didn't watch the Closer low key. That was the US whatever, and I was like, no, I'm not interested. Like,
yeah, I was almost there with that one too. And then I got through it and was not mad.
okay.
So, I when I first started it, I was like, this is going to be the one folks are going to check out on,
Mm-hmm.
because I almost checked out on it.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I've come this far. It's the last episode. Let me just like rock out and see where it goes.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being cute. So I
Okay.
wasn't mad. But
Right.
it's
I'll add it.
yeah, it's still probably my least favorite of the 6 episodes.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I think it is my least favorite of all 6.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Okay. I saw Common People. I saw Bet Noir. I saw Hotel Reverie or Reverie.
Yeah, Hotel Reverie. Okay, so are we going to talk about Issa, or are we going to just skip past the whole? We
uh,
love Issa. Let's not
without
like
doubt,
we
Issa,
live for Issa.
Joe
But
Issa Rae is someone we care about.
like a play cousin, honey.
You said what?
Like a play cousin.
Like, no, for sure. That's one of my favorite people that I don't know in real life, right?
Same.
I'll just say that I felt that there were some challenges with that project, and I'll leave it there. Yeah,
Well, I'm just going to say I don't think that was the role for her.
okay. Yeah.
I people are like really dragging her acting and like I guess, but more importantly, that just wasn't the role for her.
I
Like,
agree.
before you even get to the acting,
Yeah.
let's talk about whose idea it was to cast that.
Well, but also Aquafina was weird. Like, it was just like what
Yeah, like the overall casting of that was
casting
just
just
not
wasn't.
it.
The
Yeah,
best casting was old girl who was in the stuck in the film, or you know what I mean, like that.
right.
She killed, like
Right.
But then I don't know, like it felt like a stretch,
Yeah.
But at any rate, yeah, I want to move on. Because I don't think I saw Plaything. Oh shoot, did I? I don't remember seeing that one. I saw Eulogy, and then I was it. So I didn't see 4 or 6. So
Wait, which one was Plaything about?
there's
Like,
an eccentric loner named Cameron who harbors an obsession with the Mysteries 90s video game is arrested in connection with the cold case. I don't know. And then it cuts off. I didn't see that episode. So I don't know if the Google was just making it up.
okay, well, apparently neither did I, because I don't remember it at all.
That's also very Black Mirror.
Right? No.
Oh, wait, so it's Verity in the room? Is she making things up? Is she holding
Hello.
And did you see that episode also has 2 versions?
Yes, I did. Playing
I'm
with
like, all right.
mind. This is how Mandela effect shit gets started.
This is what I'm saying. Like,
You cannot tell me people are not doing this on purpose.
no,
Like,
it's definitely making it up. Like, Simba made the movie and it's fine. Like, we're not doing this. Like,
absolutely Sinbad
yeah.
played somebody's Shazam,
Yeah.
whatever the hell it was. He was there. I was there.
I
And
was there. We're not playing these games. Like, yeah, we're not changing logos up.
We're not doing it.
No, thank
We're
you.
not doing it. Just like I remember when Chick-fil-A did not have a K on the chick.
Come on. Come on.
Hello.
It was never the Berenstain Bears. I'm sorry. Them
Never. Absolutely not. It was
It
never.
was Berenstain Bears, and it was fine.
And it's
doing it.
okay.
Like, people change things all the time. Okay, it happened on the Fresh Prince. It's happened in the world. We don't know what's happening.
I know. This is how people in power play around with people's minds and try to make us all crazy. But no, not this girl. That said, I still don't remember that episode of Black Mirror.
It didn't happen. It's fine. That for sure didn't happen. I'm like,
it's really freaking me out.
Yeah,
like,
I'm like,
how did I stay here?
I'm like, I did not see that episode. I didn't remember seeing it in the like queue. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
it says it's Cameron Walker. Yeah, and something about LSD. I don't know. I definitely did not see this.
Wait, if you don't stop playing with me, I don't know what this is about. Like, okay,
It's called Plaything, so let's try.
I'm completely freaked out by this. This is
Okay.
nuts.
Wait, before we move on to movie, I think there's one more show I think we both watched, which was You.
It sure was You.
I don't want to give away anything.
Yeah, You is still so fresh, and people are probably still trying to make their way through it. And considering this is like the end of the show,
yes, right.
I don't want to do too much, but let me just tell you,
Yeah,
Joe is nuts.
oh my gosh.
And I cannot figure out for the life of me how women are actually out here dating men like that in real life.
Oh, I can.
Ugh.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Plays a psycho way too well.
Yeah.
Way too well. He's adorable though. God love him. But
A punchable face.
friend, not too much, because listen, no matter how crazy that man is, I am convinced that most people watching that show are rooting for him and want him to get away with all the things.
I agree. That's
I'm just so sick and twisted.
Mhm.
Like the girl in the movie who's trying, I mean, not the movie, in the show who's like trying to figure him out and whatever. Like, whole time, I'm like, girl, please go sit down.
Please go sit down.
You're annoying me. And she's trying to be the good guy in the whole thing. So I'm like, babe.
But that actress, she was also in Hustlers, which you still haven't seen. And but she's still not seen. But at any rate, she's in that, and she's just as like irksome. Actually, more irksome in that because, like, yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, no, she definitely, yeah, that was really well cast too. Yeah, that show is good. The show is good. I feel like it's a satisfying watch, and I'll leave it there.
Yeah, satisfying watch, and I feel like also a satisfying ending to this show.
Agreed. Wowzers. Okay. Well,
shout out to crazies everywhere.
Shout out to crazies.
Who they clearly pulled the material from, because I'm telling you, the antics and shenanigans are so similar to the true story podcast that I listen to from women who were married to men like him.
Mm.
And I am just like, how? Who are these women out here that have this kind of patience and blindness? I just
Can't do it.
Who are these women? So I don't know. It's wild. But yeah, those are the shows. I haven't done much movie stuff, but those would be the shows that I've watched and that I would recommend to everyone listening if you're looking for some spring, summer TV watching.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like, just briefly on as far as TV shows, what I've been watching is still like on right now beyond what we talked about. So I for sure have watched The Studio, which is also on Apple TV, which I just think
good things. Yes.
Yeah, funny, great, timely, all that. I'm still watching Hacks. Hacks is back on HBO or Max. That's great. Same with Last of Us, although I don't know if I'm going to watch any more of that show because it's a little too much. And then...
Yeah, I never really cared because something about it just gave me doing too much.
It was one particular episode on that show that made me actually watch it. And then I went back and started it over. And also it's child actor, so, I'm annoyed. But...
oh, God.
But she's very good on it, and it's just very good. So I definitely, it's also just very, it's like gory and like zombies, and these zombies are running at crazy speeds. It's not the slow zombies you but grew up watching. It's like, depending
where I'm from in Philly, I definitely grew up with some zombies. So
yeah, but did they run? No, they didn't run, right? They kind of did the.
I mean, it depends on what they stole. I don't know. So
yeah, well, no, jeez, oh my gosh. But yeah, so that's what I've been watching for TV. Movies, I did catch a few of the films that were Oscar nominated that I missed. So I will recommend Nickel Boys. I feel like that movie deserved way more than it got. It is very, very good. It is very beautifully shot.
Am I going to cry?
Yeah, I think you might. I mean, it's definitely.
I cry at the opening of an envelope, so don't go by me. But
I definitely was a little. I was a little sad, and also I watched it on a plane, which I mean, I think that just makes you cry just by something in recycled air. It makes you cry.
Is that what we're calling it? Is that what we're blaming it on?
Yeah, because I don't cry. It's not my thing. But whenever I'm on a plane, I'm just like, oh no, like I never cried at Clueless. Well, you know. So anyway, yeah, so that one is very good, a must watch. I also watched this movie that didn't get nominated, but it should have, called Hard Truth.
Oh, have I heard?
You may have not. It's actually a Black film or Black actors based in Britain, and it has our good friend. Oh my gosh, I can't think of her name right now. It has Marianne Jean Baptiste in it.
Okay, yeah.
And she plays this sort of insufferable, like, woman who like is mad at the world, basically.
Wait, is this that movie where she does that really good monologue at the dinner table?
I think so.
With, like, her family. Like, there's been this like clip going around of her having like this. Like, she's going on a tirade. Like, she's having dinner. I think it's her son and her husband who are sitting with her at the dinner table.
Yeah, and
she's like making her plate or eating dinner or something, and she is just going off about like all of her like frustrations or something.
That sounds about right. She's always mean to her son and her husband, but like her sister is like vibing and like a hairdresser, and her kids love her, and it's like it really speaks to like. I was also a little sad on this one too. It speaks to just like life and like when life doesn't go your way, or just like when it's not what you planned, but also like you're miserable, but you don't want to be miserable. Like it's just very, very good. It's worth watching for sure. And then lastly, I watched a Complete Unknown, and yeah. So all right. So I think
no, Timmy Chalamet.
I think Timmy had moments. I think Timmy had moments. I thought Ed Norton was great because he's always great.
Right.
The man
can do no wrong.
The man can do no wrong. I think the film itself is done well.
I hear a but.
No, that's it. I think it's just Timmy had elements where he got Bob Dylan down, and elements where it felt like cosplay to me.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's because looking at Timothy, he just looks like him. Like he doesn't look like Bob. But yeah, we'll take a little break there.
Okay.
We'll come back. We'll dive deep and talk about a film we both saw together.
Yes, a very, very, very much talked about film.
Right. All right. Talk soon. Okay, so we're back, and we don't need to belabor about Complete Unknown. It's a good film. I think it was worth being nominated. Definitely go see it at your leisure, but it's not. It's a biopic. It's not. You know what I mean? Like it's fine.
Yeah, we're not pressed. Is basically what you're saying.
No, not pressed at all. Again, I watched it on a plane. Shout out! Listen, if you want to see movies that were nominated, just watch them on a plane.
Oh, that's always the best time.
Yeah, there's so many hours.
Best time.
You know.
But also, I don't really care about Bob Dylan, so let's just put that out there and move on with our lives.
How many men must know?
No, I get it. I guess, but in the grand scheme of like,
I know, in the grand scheme of life, world, musicians,
yes.
I respect his pen, which I didn't realize he had written so many songs for others, including that Joan Baez song.
Listen, and if it was about that, then
and she's a part of it. It definitely is. It's definitely a part of. It's like his beginning to maybe 15, 10 years into his career. It's not like, you know, him. And also, he was randomly with the Black woman in the movie.
Yes, he had a colorful life. It's just not one of those ones that I really, you know, I know about music. So I know certain things about certain artists just through me being, you know, a student of music and music history and artists in that regard,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I'm listening to Bob Dylan. So there's only but so much, you know what I mean, that I'm going to really care about
Yeah.
his early beginnings. He's not Nina Simone for me. You know what I mean? Like that's
Funny
you know,
enough, Zoe Saldana could have played Bob Dylan, and it probably would have been more.
boy, okay. I'm going to log out because
Just say it. I'm just saying. If we listen, I think Zoe would pick
if
the
we're
wrong
stretching it,
You know what I'm saying? We're dragging it. Let's drag it all the way.
I cannot.
Well,
stand
speaking
it.
of things that have been dragged and applauded, we both saw a very important film together. Which shout out to us for doing that, and apologies for not doing that for one of them days again.
I know.
Hopefully you've watched that now that's on Netflix, but no pressure.
So we went to the movies and
Yep.
no, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to
No
it.
worries, no worries. So we're talking about Sinners, the 10 out of 10 film according to the world, and you know we want to talk about it. We wanted to see it together, and we did, and we had so many thoughts. We honestly, like, if we weren't / me wasn't feeling like being outside and being mixy, we probably could have recorded an episode that night. Like, we probably could have just went back.
Yeah.
Like, put our thoughts down, but like instead we went to
somehow we ended up doing a 2-step instead. So
right, which the cast would appreciate.
right.
Yeah, so Sinners, Ryan Coogler, a multitude of talent in the film, and Michael B. Jordan. And I think that we
listen, sir. Okay, let me just get this out. Because you want to be canceled, and it's
oh my gosh,
I'm going to be your friend regardless, so it's okay.
Thank you.
But
oh man, no, I'm not going to do that.
But this is where you and I are disagreeing on this.
Yeah. Well, we're not fully disagreeing.
I thought this was some of Michael B. Jordan's best work.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but your bar for Michael B. Jordan is a little low. Well, so when you say it,
my bar is a little low. Here's the thing. I think, listen, so let's get into it, right? So we don't need to tell people what Sinners is about. I feel like everyone knows what it's about.
Well, let's just really quickly.
Give a synopsis? Okay, go for it.
I'm not going to give a synopsis. I'm just going to say really quickly to the people who felt the need to stand on their digital soapbox and go off about the demonic energy all up and through the movie.
Please stop.
I'm not even giving too much to them because I think those people are obnoxious. Sure. But like, the movie is called Sinners.
Right. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I just feel like there was no mystery that shit was probably going to be a little dark.
Mm-hmm.
So can we just...
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you just said that. Not what you said about that, because I wanted to do at the end of this episode, I wanted to usher in this new segment called Can We Not? So save those thoughts, because I want to get into them, because mine are on a similar thing to do with this movie in general. So yes, okay. So I agree. I feel like there seemed to be some confusion about what the film was about, what people were going to experience watching the film. I think, so for me, I thought the film was great. Is it the best film I've ever seen in my entire life? No. Does the film have room for notes, edits, thoughts? Absolutely. But that being said, I think there's a lot of really strong performances, and I don't just mean on screen. I'm also talking about costume. I'm talking about cinematography. I'm talking about soundtrack. I'm talking about playing and written and production. Like, so there's just a lot in there. So I feel like it's a film people should see. It's a film I want to see again. And I'm to see it in IMAX. It looks like they've extended the IMAX theater placements. So I'm gonna try to see it again. Maybe we should try to see it again. Because I'd like to see it in the medium he's intended it to be, but the format he intended us to see it in. But
Right.
yeah,
And then also, we apparently missed a whole
yes,
part of the movie that comes after the credits.
right.
Even though we saw one part that comes after the credits,
Right.
there's another part after another set of credits.
Right.
So we absolutely have to go back
Mhm.
and see the rest of the movie.
For sure. Sure.
I feel like cheated a little bit
I do
because
too.
did I really see the movie?
Right. That's how I feel. And I was like, then I have to go see it again. So I think that okay, but back to Michael B. Jordan. All right. So here's my thought about that. I think that, that role was originally not supposed to be twins, right?
Right.
So I think him bringing two different characters to life, both in their scenes and in their scenes together, but also in their scenes with other people, is to be commended. I thought he did a good job at that. I thought it was some of his best acting that I've seen sans in Fruitvale Station.
Mm-hmm.
However, and I don't know if it's because, again, we're too close to the fire in a way that, we've had too much of a peek behind the curtain. But when you hear things like, yeah, and I took a dialect coach, I had a dialect coach. I'm like, didn't sound like it. It kind of felt like he was playing a mix of Jamie Foxx and Django and Killmonger from Wakanda, from Black Panther. Like, it just those two people and put them together. And for me, I feel like, and this will probably get me canceled, but that's fine. I think that I appreciate the bond and the dedication that Coogler has had to Michael and making sure that he's in all his films, and Michael getting to stretch and not just be our romantic comedy guy, which you could easily just fall into that space.
Right.
And I do feel like Michael B. Jordan did have moments that were really good. Particularly, there's a scene where Delroy Lindo is giving this monologue that I just read was almost cut from the film, or actually was cut from the film. They put it back in because people received it so well. He's a monologue about, what happened to him and his music career. And, he's kind of considered this drunk, but he's explaining why he drinks the way he does.
Right.
And then, dude is in the back, and I forget which twin is driving, which twin of Michael is driving. And Michael says something like, well, go ahead and play that guitar, boy. And I feel like that was ad-libbed. And I felt like that was such a oh, you're in this character, you're in this moment, able to read the scene. That's what happened. So I do think there were elements that were good. People are talking about Oscars. I want everybody to relax. I don't think it's there. I think if anyone were to get nominated for an Oscar beyond what I just talked about earlier, which is cinematography, casting, costume, soundtrack, it would be Delroy Lindo, because he was
not mad at it.
And I feel like his role in the eyes and the lens of how they nominate roles for the Oscars, sans Kieran Culkin, really captures what a supporting actor role is.
I totally agree.
So that's not to say that there were performances in the film that were great or worthy of recognition, right? I think Haley Steinfeld, I feel like she was just so surprisingly good to me. That was I didn't expect her to be as great, as she was in that. But she really kind of, why she turned, well, I don't want to spoil anything, but
please, if they haven't seen it by now.
Why she turned into Mary J. Blige at the end, I don't know, but
but it was the 90s.
No, but I don't know why it was so much that.
Yeah.
But okay, and who else? There was another person I wanted to mention, and I felt so bad I can't think of her name right now, but she's just, funny enough, she's also in Borders, bringing it full circle.
Oh, you're talking about I don't want to ruin her name. I believe it is yes, I believe it's Wunmi Masaku.
Masaku, yeah.
Pronounce it?
She was so good.
I love her and everything she's in.
Listen,
She's literally one of my faves now.
yeah, I agree. And even my homie, who I've actually not my real homie, but I'm putting him up as a contender to play me in our film. Omar Miller, who played Cornbread.
You know what? I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I'm putting him up there.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it. I was like, okay, I can get with that. But I thought everybody was just so good in it and this film, and they just did so many different things. I really enjoyed this film. I really enjoyed this film.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too. However, I do. No, I know that. However, so shady. No, here's my thing. I agree with all of what you said. Thought it was a great movie. Well done. The quality is there. Thought went into it. All the things we look for in a good movie. But I didn't think it was any more of a good movie than other good movies, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I did not think it warranted the level of like scholarly exploration that it got.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think it was that deep. And I don't know if it's because the material is not new to me, because I know Black history and I also know vampires. Like, that's something that has always interested me.
Sure.
So, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I was a vampire for Halloween, like the last 5 years of my adult celebrating Halloween life. So, like, I've always felt like vampires were very sexy, cool kind of, creatures. And so when you have a movie with vampires in it, I'm probably showing up.
Sure.
True Blood was a show that I loved. Like, so I got a little bit of history on both sides of the subject matter. And so to me, it was just a good, well done film that didn't require any, intellectual gymnastics in order for it to be understood.
Yeah.
So that was my whole thing. Like, y'all didn't know that there were. Okay, I don't want to sound.
I think most people don't know. I think that because, and I'm talking to Black people now. I think that because people are so starved for content that is deeper than a Tubi film or deeper than a redacted Perry film or deeper than
but we've had these films,
but
and
yes,
people don't like them.
They don't like them, but I think the vampire element helps, right? Because if this was just a film about the Ku Klux Klan shooting up folks and them all dying at a juke joint, like, I don't think it would have had the same effect. People would still enjoyed it, but I feel like the vampire element helped people to like look at it with open eyes or different eyes. You know what I'm saying?
But the vampire element is what made the movie cool. You know what I mean?
For
like,
sure.
that was definitely the cool factor of the movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I just feel like sometimes people get a little too deep into certain stuff and it just is not necessary, right? Like, were people sitting around having scholarly debate about Interview with a Vampire? Because I also think that's a good vampire movie. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but they didn't watch that film. Like,
that's a good movie. And
I mean, I think that, like, I mean, it's interesting.
Everybody have to write a thesis afterward.
Well, I think that's always going to be it, right? Like, I think that, like, especially now where you can write a think piece on Insecure, right? Like, something that's a, for lack of better, a lighthearted, fun, dramedy, right? Yeah. Like, if that is going to get the scrutiny of both, into Black academics and, academics alike, academics being the man who's in his basement podcasting, not like academics and school. Like, everyone could have a say on it. I think that like that's where you get into weird territory, especially with a movie like this that is polarizing to folks, right? Because I feel like if people were either like, this is 10 out of 10, the best film I've seen in my life, or it was like, this film was a bootleg black version of From Dusk Till Dawn, and I don't want to see it. Or it was like, like, oh my gosh, like there were so many themes in this film. It's like movies have themes all the time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like it's definitely, and I started to say this on threads like that, but I'm very aware that threads blow up in the way you don't want them to, and so I don't anymore. But I wanted to be like, everyone's saying 10 out of 10. What are your 10 films that you've seen that you would give a rating to that? Because if the last 4 films you've seen were to be originals, then I don't really care about your rating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder what is the litmus test?
Yeah.
Because if it's Divorce in Black, then
right.
Like,
or if you haven't seen anything other than, this Black Panther and like Blue Streak, and you're talking about this is a 10 out of 10 film, then I'm going to be like, okay, but what else? So shout out to Blue Streak. That didn't mean to catch us straight like that. Shout out to Martin Lawrence. And I was not going to say Tim Robbins, but that was a different movie. Anyway, sorry. But yeah, so I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to rain on people's parades because I want people to enjoy the things they enjoy, right?
Of course.
But at the same token, I just felt like there was that kind of fanfare around the film. And I appreciate it. People went and saw it. They saw it a few times in theaters and all of that. But I remember it ended and we kind of looked at each other and we were like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, good film. Do you want to go grab a drink? Like, it wasn't like.
Right. I wasn't left like emotionally impacted in a way that I feel like I've heard other people describing their experience with the movie.
Yeah.
And then that's not to take away anything
at all
from the film. Like, the film is well done. The film is not the issue. I just feel like for me, it didn't have that like, gut wrenching, something for me to think about for days from now. Like, I just didn't have that reaction to it.
Yeah, I just.
But I'm a jaded old babe.
Yeah. You said what?
I said I'm a jaded old babe, so don't go by me.
Oh well, I'm a hater with no woman in a relationship. So what do I know, right? And I ain't tall. I can't have no dog in this fight. But I think that because I don't know, like because someone asked me like, well, what's better than this? No, not sorry. They asked me what's better, this or Get Out, and I was like,
is that a real question?
And I was like, that's not a fair question.
It's at all.
But like, but they're two different films with two different things. But I guess the point of them asking this was like, because that film I left feeling like, dang, what did I just watch? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Like there was just a lot. And I think also because of the horror genre being played with, it was just a different film. And I also think because we weren't expecting it, right? It's also the fact that it was Jordan Peele. Like, like we expect a certain amount of greatness and storytelling and stuff from Ryan Coogler, I think, at this point.
At this point, when you start off with something like Fruitvale Station, of course, but when you start off on a sketch comedy show on Comedy Central,
right?
And
you start off on Mad TV and that kind of stuff.
You start off on Mad TV and then go off to do one of the greatest horror films.
Doesn't compute. So I feel like that was a lot of it.
Yeah.
But I remember even then, there was a lot of think pieces around.
Yeah, because there was plot twist realness in Get Out.
Yeah.
That was the film that really, and we talked about this when we were talking about, the genre of horror as it relates to Black people.
Yeah.
This was the first time we saw Black people in that genre doing things that we would really do, being in a situation that we could really be in. Like,
excuse me, we're not going to discount Vampire in Brooklyn. How dare you?
Okay.
Let's not get crazy.
So unserious.
Let's not get crazy. We're not going to discount Death by Temptation.
Death by Temptation.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not going to do that. Not on my watch. Nah, no.
Well, I mean, I guess the people under the stairs could also get a pass in this
Shout
moment.
out to that.
But, you know.
No, for sure.
But no, like...
Yeah, no, I'm messing with you.
I just feel like that's not... Yeah, that's not really fair. Because, okay, so when we're putting up films in the genre that star Black people...
Yeah.
It's giving Get Out,
The
Deliverance.
Yeah.
And then is Sinners getting that third place spot?
I would say so. Because I feel like people wouldn't even put... Like, I feel like Deliverance did not get enough credit, in my opinion. Like Deliverance was on some, like... I feel like people, because of the Glenn Close of it all, I feel like that film did not get what it needed to. And so because of that, I feel like I think the placement there makes sense, but I feel like people wouldn't give it that placement.
Okay, but what would go in its place?
I don't know. I'm willing to put it there, but I feel like people would put this and Get Out. They might even put
Tales from the Hood. I mean, you laugh, but that was pretty groundbreaking stuff.
You're right.
All those little vignettes hit some kind of culturally significant theme.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was pretty...
So you're saying in the genre of horror, period?
Yeah, I'm talking about horror. I'm talking about the Black horror films.
Yeah, I think it's Deliverance. Yeah, I think that's right. Deliverance, Get Out, and this, because you're not putting in like Us or Nope into those.
I'm not, only because I did not think that either of those movies was that great. Not that they weren't okay. Like, well, Us, I'm going to be honest with you, I can't get through it. I don't understand what's wrong with me.
No, that was my least favorite of the three.
Okay, so I'm not totally...
That was my least favorite of the three. Yeah,
Yeah, something about that movie was like going to...
And I can tell you what it is, but I don't want to...
Every which way for me. I'm not.
No. Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, we are not really used to seeing Us in that genre. Like, we typically have not been, lead characters in that genre, right?
Right.
The history is the Black person is the random friend who's going to die first.
You're right. Yeah.
So
right.
Comparing just Black horror, where we are not just the, throwaway friend.
Yeah. Or the villain, like Candyman.
Right. Yeah. Like when we're just going by that, then yes, Sinners is a tour de force. But in the grand scheme of film, this is y'all's holy grail?
Do you think that everyone in that film should get nominated for an Oscar? All right, I'm just pulling a Band-Aid off. Let's do it.
Other than Delroy, who I live for.
Right. We love Delroy. We'll cast him in anything and he would kill. So.
And he's going to give. I think just based on what you said about how we give Oscars to supporting actors, I definitely think he's strong. If Isabella Rossellini could be nominated for an Oscar for Conclave, we could for sure give Delroy.
I could see Delroy, and I would even give, if he plays the circuit right, to Miles Canton. I could see it, and I would see him over MBG, Michael B. Jordan.
Wouldn't be mad. And
so I want Ryan Coogler to get a writer or director nod. I feel like that I wouldn't be mad at it. I haven't seen, there hasn't no other films yet to compare it to, but I wouldn't be mad at it.
I agree.
I think Ludwig is always good, so I think he's going to get it off the strength for soundtrack. The cinematography, I forget the lady's name, but she was great. So I'm not mad at the behind the scenes of it all. Ruth Carter can get a nom every year and all years, as far as I'm concerned.
Right, because the costumes were definitely costuming.
Yeah, that was on, and but and even like some people who were just, because the other thing is like some people are just good. right? They're just good. It doesn't mean they need Oscars. And I feel like that is another conversation for another day. But like it's like, all right, like I don't know.
I'm not opposed to anything positive
Yeah.
that comes out of this movie.
Yeah, me either.
I'm just saying for me personally, I wasn't getting the same butterflies and like, oh my God, it didn't change my life. It was a good movie. And I'm glad that it's, seeing the success that it's seeing and that the money is coming in because politically, we've been told that Black films can't do these things.
Yeah. And even they tried, right? Variety and stuff tried to shade.
And there have been publications that have been trying to throw shade and, find some reason to be negative about this movie. And I'm glad that there are people out there who are, seeing it and calling it out for what it is.
Yep.
Because I think that's very corny and unnecessary. Yep. Like, why do you just have to find something like?
Yeah, you tried to discredit the film.
Right, just say it's a good movie and go. Like
it just came out. Like you're talking about a film remaking their budget the weekend that they came out. Like, right. Like what are you talking about? And by the way, a similar film that had a bigger budget and more screens did not make their budget back Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Y'all didn't write no crazy headline like that. Then you had to backtrack it and, throw on one of your few writers that's of color to be like, oh, this film could get Oscars. Like, don't do it. Right.
Because if it was George Clooney, they would be eating it up.
Anyone else, Timothée Chalamet, George Clooney, Carrot Top, no matter who the actor, they'd be like, oh, yeah, this is the best film we've seen. So I'm conflicted because I feel like from a political standpoint, I'm not having y'all shade this film like it's not good.
Absolutely. Yes.
But on the other side, I'm like, let's not also pretend like this film is Birth of a Nation. Like everybody relax. Like, so I don't know. It's like maybe X, maybe something that actually had, yeah. But
no, that's exactly how I feel. No, for sure. That is exactly how I'm feeling. And we didn't even talk about it because we were saving this conversation for this, recap episode. And I'm just like, okay, now our truths are coming out. We're definitely on the same page. But I know that, you give a wonky eye to Michael B. Jordan's portrayals. So I was very much nervous about what you were going to have to say about him.
I'm going to have to edit all that out if I ever want to work in this town. But all right. Well, folks.
Yeah. No, I can't. No, I enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed. And, shout out to everyone involved for having such a strong impact on film in a time when we're usually just, showing up for Marvel and all the loud, noisy, action-packed antics that I have no desire to see in Dolby surround sound. So, I'm happy for the success of the movie for sure. And I will need to see it again to actually finish the entire film. So I'm glad that I didn't hate it because
right.
Ryan's about to get some more of my points.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm happy to do so.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's a waste. No, I don't feel like it's a waste at all.
So we've got a few more minutes, and we're gonna close on this. We're gonna see how this works.
Can we not?
Can we not?
Oh God. I'm so nervous.
I'm happy to go first. So can we not a section where we kind of to discuss what maybe grinds our gears or maybe implore to the people to not do something. So mine is not a surprise. Can we not? Spoilers, folks. Can we not? Like,
oh, no, you hate this.
Can we not? Like, first of all, no one cares that you saw the movie in theaters at 12:01 on Thursday. No one cares. You do not need to post anything from the film other than the movie poster, a movie ticket. You could even maybe post the credit, maybe the title card, maybe. Oh, well, it's not a spoiler. To you, it's not a spoiler. I don't want to see any of the film that's not in the trailer until I go into the movies. What did you gain? What did you gain from posting it? What did you gain from posting it? Like to quote my good friend Gabrielle Union, how did your life change? Did you get the car? Did you get the guy? Did you get the job? Like, what did you do?
Breathe.
Like, please stop. Like, and also, if you're gonna post spoilers, how about posting a spoiler be to stay into the end of the film to see the credits? Because I left that part out in every spoiler. No one told me I had to stay into the second set of credits to see the end of the film and the parts. I kept that.
Nobody mentioned it. Nobody mentioned it. 5 million pieces.
Every 10 out of 10.
Nobody mentioned it.
Oh, by the way, stay into the film and watch it at the end like you'd watch an Avengers film. Can you not do the spoiler?
Information I could actually use.
Right. What do I do with a boomerang of Michael B. Jordan's sitting by the car? What do I do with that? Okay, that's it. I'm done.
Oh, that rant. That was hilarious. I don't even have anything.
Yours was about the freaking...
I love everything and everyone.
Please.
And I'm never annoyed. So, okay. I've got no dog in this fight.
All right. So can we not with CDOT is going to be the name of this thing. Fine.
Yeah, I hate everything and everyone. So, no, I am just hoping that one day we get back to a point where, everybody doesn't feel like their opinion needs to be heard. I'm tired. And I say that with my whole chest on a podcast, talking about how I feel about things. Yeah, I am that brazen. Okay. But it's just so like, you can just tell that everybody is trying to have a moment.
Yeah.
It's not that you're just talking about a movie that you saw that you enjoyed.
Sure.
It's that you're talking about a movie that you saw, that you enjoyed, or that you hated, and now you want to go viral because of your thoughts on it.
That's exactly it.
It just looks so forced. And like, you just want to be in the conversation so bad, and let me see how many clicks, likes, and comments this can get. And it's just all just seeming so like inauthentic and like, shut up, please. Like,
shut up.
Give people a chance to see the movie.
My spirit told me not to go see Sinners. Good.
Then you should have listened. And
don't go see it. I don't want to.
Nobody would be bothered. Like, do you know what I mean? Oh gosh, that part of it really pissed me off. Like, can we not inject our personal beliefs into other people's art? Because that's weird. I need y'all to know that is weird. This is all subjective. This is nothing you are forced to consume. This is not like, you look crazy.
You make it seem like you went to see Gracie's Corner, and then in the second scene, it ended up being
then there's a blowjob that pops up. No, like, you know what you signed up for. The promos and the title didn't give it away. Like, what are we talking about? Why are we talking so much?
Well, see, why are we talking?
Saying anything.
A whole other podcast on its own, right? So.
Yeah, I could just tell when people are saying anything to get a rise, and it's annoying to me. So that's my can we not? Oh my God, I kind of love this segment.
Right? I feel like it's fine. All right, well, we're gonna call it here. Thank everyone for checking us out. We done, but we might have an episode right after this. Who knows?
We might, just because things keep happening, and we should probably, say something. But you see how we contain, very much into the podcast, very much for the people who want to listen. Very much we actually are friends and can have conversations about things without including the whole entire world being a nuisance. Like, all you menaces out there and keyboard warriors, please, it's okay to relax. Take a moment off. You still have to clock into your 9 to 5 on Monday. None of this is gonna get you out of paying. Yeah, like, you're still gonna have to pay the IRS. Like, you're still gonna have to do all of the things, even if that comment hints 100K. Like, just chill out. Okay.
Yeah. And on that note, we out of here.
Bye.